Hello, dear Zeus learners. Welcome to our zoology class. So, in this video module, we are going to discuss and learn the information regarding structure of the columba livia brain, in the sense nervous system. So, we knew the common name of columba livia is PGN. So, scientific name is columba livia. So this is the diagrammatic representation of columba livia brain. This is a dorsal view. This is a ventral view. So different types of parts we can be seen. OL, optic lobes. CH in the sense cerebral hemisphere. OPL in the sense optic lobe. This is olfactory lobe. So OL in the sense olfactory lobe, not optic lobe. Olfactory lobe, cerebral hemisphere, optic lobe, OPL, CB, cerebellum, MO, medulla oblongata, OC, optic chiasma, then PG, pituitary gland or master gland. That pituitary gland is also known as hypophysis. So this view is dorsal, this view is ventral. So dear everybody, we knew in Latin brain in the sense encephalon. So encephalon in the sense brain. In aves, especially in birds, especially in a pigeon, brain is highly well developed. And some type of special parts located in the brain are much developed and highly functional. Different types of features, those parts they are possessing in the pigeon's brain, those features are absent in a remaining group of organisms. Amphibians, reptiles, pisces, even mammals, they don't have such type of features whichever present in the pigeon's brain, especially birds. Let's see what are those. So here brain and spinal cord and different types of nerves combination together made the nervous system. So the entire nervous system participates in the control and coordination of the columba livia. Flight, landing, perching, feeding, parental caring, reproduction, laying of eggs, preening, whatever it may be. Every metabolic activity, each and every feature under the control of nervous system. Generally, nervous system in the columba livia subdivided into CNS, central nervous system, ANS, autonomous nervous system, PNS, peripheral nervous system. So these all types of systems even we could observe in mammals also. So the entire nervous system is slightly closely related to our mammals nervous system. Central nervous system consists brain and spinal cord. We knew already that one. So brain and spinal cord together form the central nervous system. Next, autonomous nervous system. Autonomous nervous system in the sense sympathetic nerves and parasympathetic nerves together form ANS, autonomous nervous system. Then PNS, peripheral nervous system, consists or the components of the peripheral nervous system are cranial nerves, spinal nerves. So cranial nerves and spinal nerves together constitute the PNS. These two parts CNS, these two parts ANS, and these two comes under PNS. So these all three types of subsystems together made the complex and highly featured nervous system of columba livia. Let's see first one, CNS. CNS in the sense brain and spinal cord. So we will discuss regarding brain first of all. So encephalon in the sense of brain. So here brain is highly well developed. This is a dorsal view. We could observe here. So the cerebral hemisphere part of the pigeon brain is complex and larger and oval shaped and what it is called prominent. Nothing but highly it is featured. So these all three subsystems made the nervous system. Under the CNS, the brain again it has subparts like forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. Everybody note this point. Brain is a part of CNS. Even the brain has three regions like forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. So here we could observe this entire region comes under forebrain. Under the forebrain, olfactory lobes we could observe these red color structures. Olfactory lobes are helps in the sensing of the smell, but in birds these olfactory lobes are poorly developed. So birds they are unable to sense the smell properly than the remaining all organisms. So here sensing of smell is poorly developed due to the poor development of olfactory lobes. Then followed by cerebral hemisphere. The cerebral hemisphere, one in pair, enlarged round or oval shaped structure, slightly white in color. So here these are well developed. Due to this reason, birds they have high level memory powers, especially pigeon, especially passenger pigeons. In olden days, these pigeons are the intermediary vectors, are the intermediary organisms between emperors to emperor, kings to kings, or kingdoms to kingdoms, especially during this war conditions and situations before World War and emperors war and etc. These pigeons they were acts like what it is called messengers, sending the message one place to another place. Hundreds, thousands of kilometers they can easily travel and fly. So what is the reason? How they were recognized, how they were remembered, the places or the spots or the particular what it is called things whichever they will face while they are flying from one place to another place. So the main reason is cerebral hemisphere. But in mammals, cerebral hemispheres they have convolutions, gyri and sulci. We knew that, but here in pigeon brain, especially convolutions are absent in cerebral hemisphere. That is a major difference. So no convolutions. Gyri and sulci absent. So the brain is generally located in the cranial cavity. That cranial cavity gives a protection to the brain, same as in mammals and also in amphibians and reptiles also. Here meninges is enclosed the brain. Meninges nothing but we knew triple membrane combination is called meninges. Outer membrane dura mater, middle one arachnoid membrane, innermost one pia mater. So these dura mater, arachnoid membrane and pia mater together called meninges. Singular is menings. So these meninges possess the CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. That fluid gives the protection to the brain and spinal cord against the external shocks and blows and jerks and whatever the pressure. So CSF, meninges, cranial cavity, color of the brain, convolutions are absent, round or oval structure, brain is larger one, then the brain has fore and mid and hind regions. The entire nervous system is CNS, ANS, PNS. About the spinal cord, let's see further. Then coming to the next one, ANS. ANS nothing but sympathetic, parasympathetic. Nothing but plus activity and minus activity. Take an example. Take off. Nothing but if the bird want to fly, sympathetic nervous system is involved. If the bird want to land on the particular place, parasympathetic is responsible. If the bird want to open its mouth and take the food in the form of ingestion, sympathetic. While closing the beak or mouth, parasympathetic will be involved. In the sense, to perform an action, sympathetic nervous system is involved. After completion, to be back or else to go back of that particular part or that function, parasympathetic nerves are involved. Then PNS in the sense, cranial and spinal nerves. So cranial and spinal nerves are involuntary. They both participates in the involuntary functions of the Pigeon body. Then coming to, so already this one we have completed just now. Forebrain in the sense, olfactory lobes poorly developed and smell is, sensing the smell is also poorly developed, sometimes absent. Then cerebral hemisphere is large and developed, and one prominent fissure we could observe. Both cerebral hemispheres are divided with the help of a prominent fissure. So this fissure leads the corpus striatum. So the corpus striatum or the fissure, it divides the cerebral hemisphere for their proper functioning. Then optic chiasma could be seen. PG nothing but pituitary gland. This structure indicates as a pituitary gland. This pituitary gland is located or fixed with the help of a special structure is called infundibulum. Infundibulum helps the pituitary gland in its proper location of the brain. Then optic chiasma. Optic chiasma present between the optic lobes. So these green color structures indicates as optic lobes, one in pair. These optic lobes responsible for the proper sight of the bird, proper vision of the bird. So optic chiasma, due to presence of optic chiasma, they can get proper vision and sight. Best example, an eagle. An eagle, it can recognize the perfect body structure and size and shape and everything of an ant. Even the eagle is present at the top of the 10 floors building. Such type of proper sight and vision can be seen in the birds due to presence of highly well developed optic lobes and optic chiasma. Then coming to the next one, this is the cerebellum. The cerebellum has the special structures, two substructures like vermis, flocculi. This entire structure is called vermis. These two structures are called flocculi. So vermis is highly convoluted. So due to this vermis, cerebellum, it maintains the proper posture of the bird. Flight and landing and carrying or escaping, the A to Z activities are under the control of this cerebellum, especially vermis than the flocculi. Because whatever the bird, hummingbird or sparrows, parrots, especially pigeons, how they are highly active, how they are responding towards the action which is taken place, whether it is positive or negative in the environment, how they are responding quickly in the sense and fastly in the sense. This is the reason cerebellum, especially vermis. So flocculi also helps in the maintenance of body, that muscles, voluntary actions and everything. Then followed by medulla oblongata. This medulla oblongata leads the spinal cord. So spinal cord and medulla oblongata, where the medulla oblongata will be end and where the spinal cord will be started, that particular spot is called ventral flexure. Due to presence of this ventral flexure, birds, they have special type of additional features to survive in the nature or the environment successfully than the remaining all organisms. So dear everybody, then Here MB in the sense midbrain, forebrain, FB, MB midbrain. Midbrain in the sense large optic lobes responsible for vision. This is the midbrain. HB nothing but hindbrain. Cerebellum, vermis, flocculi, medulla oblongata, spinal cord, ventral flexure. These all parts comes under hindbrain. These two parts comes under midbrain. Then remaining these all parts comes under forebrain. This is a dorsal view. This is ventral view. So optic chiasma, pituitary gland or hypophysis and etc. we could be seen. So dear JUICE learners, this is the information regarding nervous system of our columba livia. So diagrammatic representation, dorsal view, ventral view. So in one more video we will be meeting with one more beautiful topic. Till then, take care, good luck everybody.